Well, welcome back. We are at episode number 5 of our beginner's guide to City Skylines 2. What we're doing with this series, just kind of going over some things, some strategies, some approaches to your first couple of cities in this new version of City Skylines. So, last episode we started doing some things to get the city set up for success in the future. So we put down our own power plant, even though it was extremely costly, but we started exporting electricity. We put down some farms, livestock, and grain, and we're doing some forestry, all in an effort to start setting that foundation for for the future. At the end of last episode, we were making money. As you can see, we're now back into a deficit. Don't panic. We have so few residents. I mean, think about it. We have less than 2,000 residents. And look at all of the industry, look at all of the farms that we have gotten set up. So that's going to be a part of it. But I really wanted to get a good foundation set so as people move in and we get more tax income, that's going to help. So I'm not so concerned about whether or not the city is making uh, a profit at this time. I just like the fact that we're no longer paying for electricity, we're actually getting paid for electricity, and the gap is very narrow. So over the course of this episode, it may change again. So what I want to do in this episode, let's do this. Let's continue to unlock things. Let's continue to work on the infrastructure of the city. So let's go to our progression. We have, or I have, 6 available development points. I want to use some of those development points. Let's go to roads, and in roads, I want to use 1 point on roundabout. We've already used a point in electricity, nothing that we need to do there. We're fine with water. We're fine with healthcare. We're fine with garbage. In education, I want to use a point on college. We're fine with fire and rescue for right now. Police administration, I want to use a point on the welfare office. I now have 3 development points, but our next milestone, we'll get more development points. Let's start with roundabouts. If you played City Skylines 1, you know that there were some pre-made roundabouts, but for the most part, if you played the game, if you watched me, you know that I would build my own roundabouts, and it would take some time. So let's go to roads. Over here, you'll see we've now unlocked roundabouts. The process of roundabouts now is so incredibly easy. If you still want to make your own roundabout, that's fine. I don't know if I'm going to have a scenario in which I want to make my own. The pre-made roundabouts seem to work well, and they're easy to use. What I want to do is, this is our major road into the city. And we've got some intersections where I really don't want traffic stopping. So let's start with this intersection here. And this is not a big one because the traffic is only going to the garbage into the farms. But for demonstration purposes, let's go to roads. You see we've got small roundabout, which we already had. We've unlocked medium roundabout, large, very large. Let's use a medium. click on medium, and literally you just hover it over the road and you place it. So if you think about the time that I've spent in City Skylines 1 episodes creating a roundabout, very, very easy. Let's go here. Now these roundabouts might be a bit bigger, so let's do larger roundabouts for the fun of it. Let's do a very large. And let's do a very large here. And I'm trying to decide what I want to do about these two roads. Do I even want them branching off of this main road? But that's roundabouts. That's very quick and easy. The reason why I'm doing this is I did not want my traffic to stop. I want traffic to continue on. Excellent. All right, now let's work on a couple of other things. We have unlocked mass transportation. Very small city, really no need for an extensive transportation network, but we're going to work on one. I think taxi. If it were me and I were doing this city myself and not as a tutorial, I would do taxi and stop with taxi. But we're going to do taxi and we're going to do bus, but just know you can hold off on bus if you want. But for demonstration purposes, I'm going to show how it works. Now, taxi, a taxi depot, just like bus, I do not want it right into the city. It has low noise pollution, but it's an industrial building, so I'm going to want taxi off of the main road. I want it away from residents. And actually, I think what I want to do, let's create a road that we're going to use for taxi and bus. Its own dedicated roads. Let's go back to transportation. Let's put down a taxi depot. We can afford it. The cost is 100,000, so we can afford it. Its upkeep, 25,000 per month. So we've placed the taxi depot. In and of itself, 20 taxis are going to be dispatched. So that's wonderful. That's all we really need. As far as add-ons, you've got a garage extension, more space for taxis. You have a dispatch center. So now people can be picked up wherever. And then electric taxis. Of all of the upgrades, my recommendation would be for right now a dispatch center. And it took me a while to figure out. I thought I was needing to put down a separate building, but what you do is you click on dispatch and you just click on the building and you've placed it. So I didn't want you thinking, well, where's my add-on? We still want to, even though taxis, people can be picked up anywhere, we still want to put down taxi stands. So we've got a standard taxi stand and we've got a taxi shelter. As you can see, there's a price difference, but the comfort level. So let's just place down a couple of them. And I think what I want to do is I want to place these taxi stands close to my parking garages, or my parking lots, I should say. And then let's place a stand, say out here. Let's place a stand in our industrial area. So now we have a couple of locations for taxi stands. Now that we've placed it, taxis are being dispatched. It'll show you now it will carry up to 4 passengers, and the 4 passengers do not have to be related, so it could pick up 4 different fares at the same time. You can go back to your taxi station and it will show you all of the taxis have been dispatched. Here is a taxi that is transporting. So already it has picked up somebody. It has 1 fare, and it's taking that person to 210 Lake Street.
You're listening to Second Moon Radio with J. Thomas Hornbuck.
Let's go back to where our taxi depot is, and let's go back to transportation. And now let's look at a bus depot. A bus depot, yes, it makes low noise pollution and low air pollution, but I like to personally keep my buses away from the general public. We are going to put down a bus station, but the bus depot, and as you can see, it's 150,000, and it is not small. That's one of the reasons why I wanted to make this road. You can put this down later. You can always turn it off. I'm going to place it, even though this city, once again, is not even at 2,000 residents. So let's assume that this is going to remain kind of the outer suburbs, and our downtown may start to develop out here. Let's work on our bus station. Typically the bus station, we would place it in the middle of our dense downtown. We don't know exactly where that's going to be, but for demonstration purposes, let's work on our bus station. I do not want that to be on a major thoroughfare. So what we could do is we could do a one-way. Let's just experiment. Let's do one way. And I can envision the city growing up around this. Let's make sure we've got enough space. Let's go with our bus station. It fits. It can be upgraded as well with extra platforms and taxi stand. The taxi stand is not incredibly expensive. Let's put the taxi stand down since we already have taxis. So let's do this. Let's set up 1 bus line. We really don't need much more than that. Very, very young city. So let's go to bus stop. I want to decide, do we want a simple bus stop or a stand? Let's go for comfort. We could kind of cluster. So a person could drive, they could catch cabs, or they could catch the bus. So let's put the bus close to other forms of transportation. Maybe not that close. We'll let them walk across the street. Let's do that. Maybe one there. Let's not crowd. One there. One there. That may stay extremely suburban. We'll let the taxi service deal with those individuals. And let's do one here, just for demonstration purposes. We have now placed 6 bus stops. Let's get rid of this. Let's put down our bus stop on this side. You can see here, we've got some bus slots. When we click on our bus line, see how that dot appears? Click. So that's the beginning. So let's, and the, yeah, wonderful. See how the simulation is bringing the buses out. So let's start with, let's go over here. Stop there. Stop there. And when you place your stops, make sure you're bringing it in. You can place it there, but kind of make sure you're bringing it into the shelter like that. Let's come over. Another stop. That one. There, and then let's terminate it back at the station. We now have ourselves a bus line. Now that we have a bus line, it's blue. We should start to see a blue bus. Ten buses, which is too many, so we're going to adjust that. But you see where the bus is in relation to our stops that we have. Let's click on bus. There's our blue bus line. There's the schedule. You can deactivate it. There's the visibility. There's details. Let's do this. We have way too many buses. Let's drop this down to 2 buses. You can adjust your price. You can adjust the color of the bus line. If we want to make it a red bus line, that's fine. And then once we do that, instead of being blue, the bus turns red. And we've now created a bus line and another form of income. Now, the cost of buses is going to far outweigh what we're going to make on mass transit. but this is just a demonstration of how it works. But as the population grows, we're going to get more use out of it. This is the perfect time. We've got demand across the board. Let's go ahead and start satisfying some of this demand. Let's do some industry. We've got both types of residential demand. So let's go with low. Let's come back over here. I want to be careful about just painting an entire area. Let's do that there. Let's take care of some commercial demand. Maybe give these individuals some shopping across the street from their home. Some apartments. Now we have unlocked a new type of building, and that is offices. We're only going to do a few offices for the simple fact we do not have enough educated people to really do what we need to do for offices. We do not have a college, so we're going to do a college here shortly. But because we don't have a college, we don't have educated people to go into some of these offices. We'll do just a few. Let's see if it even starts to build. Yeah, it's building. We won't be able to fill a lot of them. Let's do some offices down here. We do have to start thinking about college. We've unlocked a college. It is a bit pricey. Maybe we could do the college in close proximity to our bus. Or maybe we could do our college out here in a suburban area. I do like the concept. Now we've got some hills. Let's not worry about terraforming. Let's see if we can do this without having to terraform. That's a good sign. Education. College, 750,000. The upkeep. We've got more people coming in, so this could be a bit early, but let's do it. Let's do our and we've unlocked a milestone, and fortunately, look at the money that we just got. So we just made our way up to a new milestone. We can do another type of farming. We unlocked a good amount of additional resources from a financial standpoint, which is good. We can start working on post offices, internet for our residents. Let's click on, so we can add on an extension wing, so you can see how it just changed there. We can add on a library. And none of these are things that we need right now. The only purpose for this is let's also get some taxis and some parking. It comes with its own parking, but let's get some taxis. A bigger city, we would run a bus line here, but we're not going to worry about that for right now. And this is going to allow us to cater to our offices. Let's put some commercial in close proximity. Maybe people right after they go to school. And as you can see, I just messed up. I put down offices. So we can just repaint over.
Oh, sorry about that. It's nothing important. I just lost my keys.
We have the demand. I'm going to go ahead and start continuing the process of getting people into this city. That's what we need. We need a good tax base. I'm going to continue this theme of curved roads out here. I am doing one way just to demonstrate how we're going to change this. Or we could leave it as a one-way. But for demonstration purposes, I'm going to go back to a 2-lane road. I'm going to go to replace. But I'm not going to replace. I'm not going to replace that road. Let's leave that as a one-way. I don't envision any medium wealth in this area here. So what we could do is we could do a wide swath . You could do that, but all the houses, we can give it a try. And because it's a variety of sizes, we may not have to deal with the high rent. I actually like how the houses are cutting into the, we'll see how this looks. Let's take our residential tax to 12%. Very good. We've got roundabouts, we've got buses, we've got taxi stands, bus stands, we've got a bus station, we've placed our college. We're now in the process of educating our residents to the point where we can support more offices. We're continuing to grow our city, our tutorial city. When I come back, or when we come back, we're going to work on providing internet access for our residents, as well as a welfare office. We're going to continue to grow, and we should start to get more and more educated individuals to fill our office space. And that's what we'll do on our next episode.